Hi guys, Mac Double Tap. So, done some wheeling and dealing and trading, and I've come up with a new toy. Working on the new man cave. It's horrible. We're getting there. But anyway, so I needed to get a new 308. I wanted something that was a little bit handier in the Pennsylvania woods. My last heavy barrel, if you look back years and years and years ago, that I used in Oklahoma, was big, heavy, match grade barrel. And it was great because, in Oklahoma you get them big, flat, open spaces, and you can typically get laid flat out on the ground and drop bipod out and make shot. Here in Pennsylvania, with the way the terrain is, it's not always the case. It's not never the case, but it's not always the case. So I wanted to go with a little bit lighter of a gun in general. Something that I could shoulder fire a lot easier. The older you get, I know some of you guys are go, well, if you train and whatever, the older you get tennis elbow, your arms, you're not as strong, blah, blah, blah. So I started doing on a local buy, sell, and trade page. I started doing some trading, and I ended up with this. So the VTR, which is varmint target rifle. I hear some people, I didn't know a whole lot about it when it first got put out to me about this. So I did some research. A lot of people I see calling it the varmint tactical rifle. It's not what it stands for. That in mind, though, it's, this is chambered in 308. They have several other offerings, but I'm a 308 guy. Overall, I'm happy with, it's a standard Remington 308. So, 700 frame, pretty hard to beat. Time tested, battle proven. I know there's some guys, I hate Remington. I can find somebody that hates whatever gun you're carrying. So, I've had extremely good luck with the 700 platform. So, that's what I kind of wanted to go with. I am in an effort to thin down the number of gun safes required to hold my personal rifles. So I'm trying to kind of pick a couple calibers and build accordingly. 308 will always be one of those calibers. I really think 308 is a caliber that you can pick up and go hunting just about anywhere on earth with. I think it is a very effective caliber out to 1,000, 1,200 yards. So with everything I had in my mind, this rifle seemed to fit the bill. Substantially lighter. One of the things that first sticks out and notices is the triangle barrel. It's not just the tip, it is the whole way down. Excuse me. No, somebody's going, oh my god, he's got the coronavirus. No, I got allergies. But, so, has this integrated muzzle brake, which the barrel is called 22 inches, but to me the barrel length stops at the muzzle brake. So they're calling 22 inches there, obviously. So I'm saying it's actually more like a 20 and a half-ish, 20 and 3/8-ish length barrel, because you lose your barrel when the gas starts to eject from the gun. So yes, it's 22 inches out to the tip, but you don't have a 22-inch barrel. You're working more with a 20-inch barrel. The first thing I noticed that impressed me was the way it feels when you throw it to your shoulder. This barrel, the triangle barrel, what they say is it disperses heat better, and It saves with the harmonics. It changes the harmonics, supposedly making it extremely more accurate. And it sheds weight, and it does shed weight. This gun in your shoulder for the heaviness of the barrel, because I mean it's thick, is extremely well balanced. The other than that, standard Remington 700. Now, one thing it does have is a adjustable trigger, so I was told, or so I read. It has a droppable floor plate, adjustable trigger, and all that. Now, this one is used. The trigger on it, just the way I felt it, and I don't have my trigger pull gauge out here. I'll trigger pull it later. It's beautiful. It's crisp. There's no creep. I don't see any reason to even mess with the adjustable trigger, so I won't. I like that trigger just the way it is. You guys kind of know from other videos that I'm not a microscopic trigger type guy. That's the good. Let's talk about what I don't like and what I see coming in a series of videos. Siri thought I was trying to talk to her. So the first thing I don't like, barrel's not free floated at all. That is not going to work. I can promise you that's not going to work. I kind of was hoping before I went and picked this up that it was a redesigned stock, and it's not. It is just a stock for a round barrel gun. I don't know if you can see that in there. So, not digging that. I will pull this out of here. I'm going to shoot it first. I'm going to take and I'm going to throw an Arkin EP4 on it. This is 4-16. Yeah, 4-16 EP4. That's what scope's going to go on it for now. You guys saw the other videos where I reviewed this scope. It's a fantastic scope. But this isn't about the glass. This is about the rifle. You know, it had a Bushnell Elite on it, is what came on it, 6-24. It's an MOA scope. I'm not a big fan of MOA for long range, so that had to come off. I will probably, when they get back in stock, get an EP4 6-24 for this, but right now 4-16 is what's going on it. The longest range I can really shoot out here is about 800 yards, so that should be plenty adequate for what I'm doing with it. So that is kind of just a preliminary beginner video to it. I can tell you I'm going to get it tore apart after I shoot it. I don't want to, I want a starting point. I want a baseline, and we'll do a baseline video once I had to order a different mount. So once it gets here and I can get a baseline on it, I'm going to go ahead and get some ballistics data on it and get some shot strings and get some grouping and, you know, try to heat it up a little bit and see what the heat does with to the barrel like it is now. I mean, theoretically, with that much connection on the bottom of this, it ought to push it up, especially out there in the front. I will do some reading. I might be completely wrong. This is just an off-the-cuff, the gun just showed up video. But I really think that, you know, free floating, all the videos, every video I've seen on it has been very lacking. And, you know, a couple guys took it out and shot it, great. A couple guys set it on a table and said, here, this is what it is. You know, it's very well balanced, that I promise you. I could see being able to freehand this for extended periods of time, where on a traditional heavy barrel, you know, you start to get a lot of waver and fluctuation as you do it. So there it is. That's the beginning of this quest. I'm sure there's a long way to go. I'm sure you can put this in that Magpul hunter stock. I'm really a traditional stock guy, more or less. We'll see. It may end up having a Magpul stock on it by the time it's all over. Or another chassis that, you know, works well with it. Especially if I get this tore apart, and it's going to be hard to, which I don't think it will be hard to Dremel that all out and free float it. But appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll be back with the VTR real soon.